Hey, what's up everybody? Let's talk about some bike packing and moto camping tents right now, as well as backpacking tents. I have 4 tents here that I've had for a long time. I have the big Agnes copper spur bike packing tent. I have a Seek Outside sunlight tent. I have a Nemo Aurora, and I have this Alps Engineering cheeeeeepoh. I was trying to give you guys a heads up on what I like for moto camping, what I also like to use for bike packing and for backpacking when I occasionally do it. So let's talk about these. This is the the holy grail of bike packing tents. It's used everywhere. It's on everything. All the moto guys use this. Everybody loves it. This Seek Outside is it's more of a hunting company. Actually, my buddy's family owns it. Seek Outside. They design it for hunting, but they make an awesome super light bike packing or moto tent. This is the Nemo Aurora, and this is one of their cheaper 2-person tents. But I'll tell you why I really like this. And this is my first small tent that I ever bought, and I've had it for over 10 years now. So with the big Agnes, the huge benefit is having these poles that are tiny. They fit everywhere. It's a super ultra light tent, and this even has the optional footprint inside this bag. And you can see, compared to this, it's not that it's insanely smaller. It's just that the bag it comes in, you can wrap it around your handlebars really easy if you're bike packing. Now for moto camping, this just fits right inside my pannier, easy, and everything just goes together really easy with this bag, unlike something like this where this is just a bag. There's nothing really special to it. It's the same kind of material. It actually, you can squish it down quite a bit since there's really nothing in there. It's just material, and it could actually be almost smaller than this. And I do use their carbon poles, which are just the tiniest bit bigger, but not so extreme like actual tent poles that take up a little bit more room. So this is the one that everybody tends to get. We picked this up last year. I've been doing backpacking and moto camping for over a decade. I picked this up last year because my wife wanted to get into bike packing, and I figured this was the best tent to get for her. It was the easiest one to, it's easy. You don't have to plan out as much as trying to use one of the other tents. But like I said, you'll see this on pretty much any bike packing video or post, as well as all the adventure motorcycle guys. I've been using this as my main moto camping tent. It is pretty big in this picture, but when you can stuff it down quite a bit, and it doesn't get, it's about the same size as these two once you put it in a stuff sack. So it looks big here. The only difference with this is the poles tend to be too big to fit inside my panniers. So I have a separate pole bag that attaches to my moto that makes this easy. This is by far my favorite tent I've ever owned. This one is just a cheapy little 2-person tent. Now I'm only bringing this up because I have it, and because I've used it forever. And it's an amazing tent if you're just like, hey, I'm on a budget, I just need a 2-person tent. You can see it's not really that much bigger than that one, and this is only like $100 and some tent. It's nothing special about it. And this could be maybe even lighter if you got the high-end stakes instead of the ones that come with this, which are those big metal stakes. So let's undo these and put them up really quick. Okay, I have all the poles set out. This is for the big Agnes, and the only difference between this and the others is on one side is color-coded silver. Like this side is color-coded silver, and that's side is color coded red, which matches the tent. Has this pole set up. This one takes the longest to set up for some reason. This is the Nemo Aurora, and this one, as soon as you pull it out of the box, it just flips up pretty easy. It has two sides. This one only has the one kind of little connector piece. This old Alps engineering is just two separate tent poles, and these go to, this is the easiest one to put together. And then we have the carbon poles for the seek outside, which is just click them together, super. So the only thing you have to do with the big Agnes compared to the others is line up the sides with your poles. So this is the silver little corner, and that's the silver corner. So this is going to be the silver corner side, because this isn't a, I'm not sure what it's called, but like this tent tapers to your feet, where the Nemo is just one, the same size tent all around. You just throw it up and wherever it lands, there, super easy. Don't have to look at anything. The tent poles just go right on. This is also one of the tapered tents, but it does matter which side you go on, because I put this up enough to know, but the way these poles bend go at the corner where your head would be. That's it. That's, none of these really make a huge difference, but when you are in a situation where you need to unpack your tent and get it up as fast as possible, this Nemo is by far the easiest one. And it's just because you don't have to question anything. Pop the poles out, they flip together, and just throw them on. Super easy. So these three tents, these are all freestanding tents. I do love the freestanding tents. That's why I think this is the best tent, because I like to just get into camp, kind of get the general area, put up the tent without the rain fly on it, and then kind of lay inside the tent to make sure there's no rocks or anything poking through. And then if so, I move the tent, clean it up, put the tent back. And then in the morning, when you have a dirty tent, you can lift up the tent and air it out. This seek outside is not a freestanding tent. You just put in the 4 stakes, put in the poles, done. So let's get these set up really quick. Okay, so these are 3 freestanding tents. I can put them side by side. It's harder to put the seek outside one next to it, but you can already tell there's a massive difference in these tents. The Nemo is huge compared to the other 2. It is huge. It is bigger. It's taller. It's wider. It's longer. It has way more volume on the inside. It has about the same kind of clips that the big Agnes has, but the only difference is when you come to here, these are little plastic clips and these are metal. So obviously that's a winner. And this is old school, cheap, huge, you know, the poles go through here. It's just a waste of material. This one is broken. It needs a little rivet there, but it doesn't affect how the tent works. It doesn't even really need this. It's supposed to go through here, but that doesn't make a big difference. What you can start to see is why this one packs a little bit bigger, obviously because of the size. But what you have with this tent, the big Agnes, is just super lightweight material. Everything is very lightweight, from the floor just to the sides, and then the mesh. It feels very lightweight. It does feel a little bit more fragile. It makes me want to use the footprint, where with this one, this material is just, it's it's not lightweight. It's thicker here, a little bit more lightweight here, and then the mesh is, it just feels like a more solid mesh for some reason. I don't know if that makes any difference, but this one, I don't use the footprint because I don't feel like I need to. I've had this for about 6 years and all sorts of camping trips, and even with my moto boots and everything put on the inside, I walk around in there. Well, I don't walk around, but I don't feel like I'm gonna damage this tent no matter what I do. And then this tent is just kind of crappy material on the bottom, and then a lightweight mesh. All three of these I think are 3-season or 4-season tents. I couldn't tell you. They're not like winter tents. All of them are 2-person tents, but you can see like this is massive compared to this little guy right here. That's a 2-person tent, and I barely fit in this one by myself with my moto gear next to me. Where this one I have so much room in the tent. And this one's just a perfect little, you know, this one is basically the same as the Big Agnes, almost the same size, the same basic. I'll just move the Big Agnes over here. It's kind of the same size, same taper. There's really nothing different to it. It has a little bit more, you know, it's spread out a little bit more on top than here. Obviously this one's a $600 tent and this is a $100 tent. That's probably a $20 tent. You could probably get them for free from friends. I would give that away for free if somebody wanted it. But these two are the most comparable, and this one is in a league of its own. You'll also see like this one has interior mesh pockets here, you know, the same on the sides. This one has a much bigger mesh pocket for, you know, like your socks, whatever they need to dry out. And I think it has one in the back. Yeah, it has one in the back too. It has the side pockets. This one has a little mesh thing that you can hang up, but you're not going to put anything in there. This one is just the same front to back. Same little side pocket here, same side pocket there. Okay, now let's look at one of the design flaws of this tent that I can't stand. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it's anybody else. This has 2 zippers. One that goes up, it's not staked down, and one goes across the bottom. So you have to do 2 zippers every time you want to get in and out. And that's just, I don't understand that. I guess there's a reason for it, but you'll see that they skimped on some other stuff, but they put on 2 zippers. And I'll show you what they skimp on. But 2 zippers, what do I need 2 zippers for? This has a single zipper, works super easy. Obviously not right now, so I have it staked, and this has just 1 single zipper. I'm inside, zip it open, zip it closed, done. This one, gotta zip that one open, zip that one open, get inside, zip that one. And the zippers, they're tiny. So they're tiny zippers. Like tinier than my little finger, and this one is about, you know, as big as they get. And this one is about a solid middle ground. So this one has the best zippers of all of them. So let's put the rain flies on, and then we can start going from there. So one thing to notice is this is for the Big Agnes. Comes with these super lightweight tent stakes, and this is the Nemo. Comes with these kind of, they're not heavy, they're not metal. It's kind of like aluminum-ish, older style stakes. These could be upgraded. Then you're saving a little bit of weight. Doesn't really matter. And I just like these stakes better than the ultralight ones. I think they're easier to use. And that tent comes with really shitty stakes. So, okay, this is the Nemo. I wanted to point this out. With the Rainfly, all 4 corners are the same. It's got these nice metal clips. You just pull up the tent a little bit and put it underneath the tent pole. Done. With the Rainfly, to do that, all you do is grab the 1 loop that's there, and I'm saying this purposely, there's only 1 loop on this that it can go in, tighten it, done. That's so easy for this tent. This tent is so easy to put up. It's the easiest one. You don't have to think about anything. Everything is very simple. Now when it comes to the Big Agnes, you get these, you know, super lightweight poles, but what you have here is, you know, more stuff you got to deal with. Now you got clips. I hate these clips. So let's get these tent poles put in really quick, and we'll go from there. Okay, so for the Big Agnes, you got these plastic buckles. Once again, plastic buckles that, it's just more material. I don't understand it, but you got to color code them because this is the orange side and the other side is the gray side. So when you grab the fly, you got to figure out which side is which before you put it on. Now here's where I start to get a little frustrated. Is which one do you want to do? which side of these do you want to put your stake on for the door. If you put it on this right side, it would be like the Nemo, and it would act just like the Nemo acts, where this would be your, this side would open, and then you can put that side up. But then this has two zippers, so I think you need to hold this one down too or something, so that this can be one big flap that comes up. So now you got to bring extra poles to make this some sort of like vestibule that comes straight out. So it's like it's super lightweight, but yeah, I'm still not really grasping why I need that or what that does, because I'm not bringing more poles, and I'll show you, to make this work. Like, it's supposed to be able to come out like this and give you a little porch area, but I don't have poles, so I gotta find some sticks or something. Or you're bringing more stuff. Once again, this is one of those designs, I'm not sure why it's like that. But then you got it's just more stuff. Like, why do I need more zipper stuff? And I'll show you why that kind of makes me, why I dislike this tent. Because look, they added a whole other zipper just to do that, so I got to bring other poles for. And the part that annoys me the most about this tent is when it's hot out, you want to roll this side up like you would on the other tents. Like, it's already getting on my nerves. Well, there's the way this rolls up is a weird way, and yeah, I'm trying to make this make sense. But these hooks, when you're supposed to roll this up and use these hooks, there's not enough material to make it easy. So they added this other zipper, they added all these plastic buckles, they add all this other stuff, and then they give you the tiniest amount of these. Like, it's just not long enough to go around the whole thing and clip in super easy. I sit there and struggle with it, trying to make it work, because there's just not enough material. Like, even right now, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to go on this side, if I need to do the whole door up, but let's see if I can do this way. So you're seeing, like, look how much little material this is. So and like, it's grabby and everything, so that one's okay. Now I gotta figure out which other one to do, but then it starts pulling on the tent. But then you're stuck in the tent and you're just like, hey, I woke up and it's hot in the tent. Let's try to open this up. And you got to get out of the tent to even figure this one out. I hate that design. It's such a weird design to me. Maybe it makes sense to other people. It does not make any sense to me. So let's come on this side. Once again, let's figure out which side do we want. We want to do this side. Okay. So this tent is fully set up. That's frustrating. 2 entire zipper systems instead of giving you a little bit better door opener holder thing. This one does have a little bent on the top, has one. You know, that's a normal. This one has one on each side, so you can have one on here and one on the other side. This one I'll put up right now. So the Alps mountaineering compared to the big Agnes. Alps mountaineering, super easy to put on, huge buckles, has your airflow here and on the back. But when you grab the rainfly out, it's got this huge Alps mountaineering. I already know it goes on the back. I don't have to guess. Even like this one, like the Nemo's on both ends. But this one seems pretty simple to figure out. But this one, compared to the big Agnes, this one beats it. You just throw up the rainfly. Don't have to guess on anything. Everything's just there. Everything's easy to do. Sorry, I didn't put these stakes in well enough. These are really cheap stakes. And my ground is very soft right now. So there you go. Look, super simple. One zipper inside. This one, let's do it up. One zipper, this kind of stays in the way. One zipper here, one zipper here. Okay, now we're inside. So with the big difference between all of these is one zipper and one zipper. These other ones, look how massive this is. Massive amount of room to get in and out of. It's huge. This rainfly overhangs a lot. This rainfly overhangs over the tent pretty far. This one, not so much. This one, if rain's coming in, the rain's going straight into the floor. And the same with this one. Rain's going straight into the tent. And I know this because it happened to me, where I had everything set up and then out of nowhere it started raining, and I ran to grab something out of my bike before putting it in the tent, and I forgot I had the tent open like that, and my sleeping bag was soaked within a matter of a minute, if that. Sleeping bag, sleeping pad, everything is soaked because there's no overhang. It's just straight in. So these two, Alps and the big Agnes, well, I'd give this to you for free, or you can go pay somewhere around $600 when all is said and done for that. This beats it. But this is by far the best tent so far for a freestanding tent with a lot of space, easy access, has the most space on the inside. This tent so far is winning of all the tents. So now these are the three freestanding. Let's go put up the seek outside really quick. So to show you how easy the seek outside is, I just threw that out right now. The bottom is a different color. It's a dark green. It's a rectangle. So you just kind of flip it onto the dark green spot, float it out, and then all you got to do is stake each corner. Stake. See how easy this already is? Don't have to worry about poles, color coding. Stake. Flip it out. There's a dark green. Stake. Okay, I want this tight. Oops. I want this mostly tight. This is way harder to do with one hand. Okay. So, stake. So all we've had to do so far is 4 stakes. Grab the pole, push it inside into this little corner, and I put the stake too tight. This one you have to actually stake down pretty well compared to the other ones where they're freestanding. So this one has to be a little tight. This is just my bag I use for the moto. So I toss the pole in, put the pole up, and then come back and put this stake in on the rainfly. Let's redo this dang stake because, like I said, my ground is really soft right now, so it's just not holding. Okay, that's better. Now all I gotta do is grab the other stake, the other pole, inside into that corner. Pole goes up. See if stakes out. Pole goes up. Grab the end of this. That's it. The entire setup is done. That was it. That was all I needed to do to put up that tent. It took, if I would have done it right, less than a minute. We do have some extra guidelines. That's it. Look how easy that was. Massive tent. What about zippers? There are no zippers. Look, perfect. This thing, you need to get it set on here, like these clip to the poles. I'm not gonna waste my time doing it because it doesn't matter right now, but see, that was it. Look how easy that was. That was all I needed to do is to set up this tent. This side comes up, boom, tent set up. How awesome is that? Could not be any easier. This tent's huge. It's massive compared to the other ones. It's hard to tell, but this is about the same size as the Nemo. Has so much room. It blows the big Agnes and the Alps out of the water with room. Huge amount of room. One zipper, where's it at? One zipper right here. Inside the tent. Dang, look at that. Such a good tent. Okay, so we have all 4 tents set up. Let's talk about these tents and why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I bought that one last year, and after using it a handful of times, I'm selling it this weekend. Somebody's gonna come pick it up. I dislike this tent so much that I don't want it in my collection of tents. This is probably one of the worst design tents I've ever used. I just can't believe that this costs, you know, almost 600 bucks with a footprint. This, if I was on a budget, I would just go find something like this. It is the perfect tent for just doing anything. And like I said, I'd give this away for free if anybody wants it. You could probably find them for 20 bucks. And I'm sure there's versions of this on Amazon for, you know, 80 bucks brand new. I wouldn't think this is gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna go mountaineer Everest, like, but if you're just camping in Colorado, this is probably what I'd be on for a budget. Now this is the best tent of all of them. It is my favorite tent. Like I said, I've had this for about 6 years. I've used it all over Colorado. I love it. It's massive. I love the design of it. I love that it's freestanding. It just takes up a little bit more space in your gear. So now this tent I'm keeping, and this will be the tent I use when I'm gonna do more of a fun overnighter. I'm going to bring a little bit more bags. It's not going to be extreme off-road. It's just going to be like, hey, I'm just going to bring a top bag on my moto, which is like, you know, it's not much bigger, but I can bring this over that one, have a little bit more space, be a little bit more comfortable. This one is when I like to go lightweight. This is my super ultra lightweight tent. This is the one I will be keeping. The huge benefit over this is not only that it's lightweight, not only does it take up any space, not only is it a huge amount of room, but this right here, that open enclosure system makes a huge difference in Colorado. If you're like me, I camp mainly in the, you know, spring, summer, and fall. Now in the summer, when you have a tent like any of these freestanding tents, having to zip and unzip this to get air, or having to hold this out, this is for this one too. I'm not saying there's any benefit to this, but when you tuck up one side to keep air, say you're camping in the desert and it's hot and you just want a roof over your head, you have to roll this up and roll the other side up. It's tons of airflow. But that's what I was getting at. In Colorado, you just never know when a storm's going to roll through. So you want to be able to quickly, you know, shut the doors, shut the rain fly if it does start raining. You don't want to be stuck. Where this one, it's just always open and you're like, oh, it's raining. Perfect. Now it's not raining on me. Oh, it's raining. It's not raining anymore. Perfect. Let's air out. Where this one, I camp a lot with it, both sides rolled up, and this one is just easy to keep a stake there, and if it starts raining, you know, undo it, put it out. But if it's 1 in the morning, that's not what you really want to be doing. You just want to get your shelter going and then go to sleep. Now, one of the big benefits of this tent compared to the other tents is that when you roll this up, I'm gonna do it, hold on. So the big benefit to this tent is it's super easy to roll these flaps up. It gives you this huge amount of buckle, or whatever this is, this slide buckle thing, and then you just roll it up, throw it through there, and then cinch it tight. How easy is that? Could not be easier. All the extra material they put on that big Agnes, and they skimped on something like this. I don't understand it. So easy. In the summer, I'll do both sides open like this. I'll have both sides open, and the benefit of this tent to me is that you're sleeping right around here. I'm trying to give you a level idea. So that's where you're sleeping. Your head and body is protected by this really thick material, and then this kind of thicker material, and then you get the air that just flows through over you. It's really nice. In the summer in the mountains, it's perfect. You can camp like that all night in your 40-degree bag, somewhere around there, and it's so comfortable because you don't have wind just blasting you in the face. It's just kind of gliding across the top of your tent, and if you need some extra air, you can open it up when you need it. Where this tent, if you sleep with the doors open and you just put your sleeping bag in there, the reason it's so dirty is because I woke up in a sandstorm and I was choking on the sand that was blasting through here straight into my face. It was a horrible night, but that's kind of one of those downfalls of having a tent that's only this small. And this is because you have to open and close the doors this way. The same thing with this tent is the same. Has a little bit more material on here, so it'll keep the wind directly off your body, but still you got to deal with all this other crap. With this one, it's just easy. You either get the wind, and if you don't want it, it's too hot, you just shut the tent. Like, I can't praise that one enough for being so easy to set up the way you want it to and how you want it to. But this Nemo Aurora 2-person tent is the way to go if you got like a big BMW GS with a big top case. I think these things are 400 new or 300 new, I can't remember. I think I got it on sale for 200. I even got the footprint. It comes with the footprint. I never use it. And then this one is going to be my super ultralight fun tent for camping. It's so nice. So the only issue, so there's two issues. One, this is a single-sided, single-wall tent. So there is no mesh on the inside. The other issue is, there's always a pole there, so you got to get out around the pole. Whatever. It's not the worst deal. But there's a pole there. Now, the biggest issue with this tent is they stopped making it. It was costing too much money to produce this tent and make a profit of any sorts on. So they do offer a tent that's similar to this, but it's not a single wall. It has the tarp set up the same, and then you have a mesh tent that you put inside, and you can keep it set up that way. It's basically the same thing, except it makes it a double wall, and it adds the most minimal amount of space. But these tents are a little bit more expensive. They're coming around $600, so similar to the big Agnes. But these are big Agnes is out in Steamboat, American company. These guys are here in Grand Junction. These are American companies. They try to do everything in-house. You can go to Seek Outside and you can see them building the tents there. Like they make these tents there. Even right here, it says Barb and Roseanne. I don't know. Somebody made these. Yeah, this is the sunlight. So let's talk tear down. I don't think any of them tears down any significantly faster or better or anything. There's not really a winner for tear down. The only issue with the single wall tent is if we did use this, and I've had other single wall tents, I did have a black diamond single wall tent that would moisture up on the inside a lot, and you had to find a way to dry it before putting it away. This one, the only time I've had it collect a lot of moisture is when me and my wife bike packed through a storm and then set this up in a very wet area where it was in the middle of summer too, and we woke up and the tent was wet. All these tents would have been wet in that situation. This one is just, you know, like I said, super easy to air out. It takes no time. So there's no benefit to putting any of these away. I do think this one, where you just pull the poles out or pull the stakes out, shove it in the bag, you're done. There's not really pulling the tarp off and having to undo the poles. The poles on this one obviously just come right out, undo them, pull out the stake, shove them in the bag, and go. But normally in the morning, you're not like, I gotta go, I gotta get out of here. And it's just like, all right, let's set up, clean up camp and get moving. So to finish this out, buy this tent. No matter who you are, find one of these or a version of these and just always have it around. You will always find a use for this tent. If anybody wants this tent, let me know. It's yours. That one, glad getting rid of it. This one, if you're bike packing, backpacking, or moto camping, grab one of these and you know, support some amazing people who also bike pack, backpack, and moto camp. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Okay, that was a huge eye-opening difference. I didn't realize that tearing these all down was gonna have me say anything, but I need to come back and say that this Seek Outside was so simple and so fast to tear down compared to any of these. This literally, I just pulled the poles down, pulled the stakes out, stuffed it in the bag, done. These had to pull the stakes out, pull the rain fly off, pack them in the bag, pull the poles out, undo all the connectors on the poles, undo the poles, put them in the pole bag, take down the tent body, put that in the bag, push everything together, try to figure it all out. This is obviously the hardest one to get everything perfect because everything has to be perfectly shoved in there for it to be easy, or you know, for it to go together. This one has everything in it, and this one has the most room of all of them besides that one. So this one is, you know, the Nemo, it's just easy to put in the bag. Obviously this could be, you know, if the bag was a small, you could sandwich this down way more to be in line with this one, like easily. But it was just eye-opening how easy the Seek Outside tent was to put away. Like, this is the same material as the tent, and it's just this massive bag that squishes down into my panniers, or whatever you call them. So, like, wow, that tent just wins by far, minutes less time than all these on pack up.